Hello, good morning, and welcome to Claret and Booze. It is Tuesday, the 28th of March, and this is my daily ramble. I'm John, aka Virgil. Welcome to the show. First things first, if you like today's show, please hit the like button. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, Claret and Booze, please do so. It's free and takes seconds to do. And if you hit the bell notification, you'll be advised as and when we go live or upload shows like today. So today, I've got one topic and one topic only. I'm going to be talking about Declan Rice. Now, the Declan Rice stories over the recent years and so have been done to death. We know he's probably leaving we know he's definitely leaving this summer. And I just want to address some of the criticism that Rice is receiving from not only his own fans, but pundits alike. As we know, a few weeks ago, Graham Souness questioned Declan Rice's abilities as a world-class international midfielder. One of the reasons that Souness came out with the comments was the fact that he felt that Rice didn't score enough goals. And Rice duly answered Souness's criticism with a goal in England's 2-1 win over in Naples against Italy. Now, Souness is entitled to his opinion, but he's wrong. And more opinions from ex-footballers turned pundits have come out in the last 24, 48 hours. And I just want to talk about a couple of them now. So first things first, Paul Merson, who is a pundit that I really like, has come out and he's suggested that the £100 million price tag placed on Rice's head by the club, West Ham, is far too much money. Now, you could argue that he's right. But remember that a player is only worth what somebody else wants to pay for them. And a club like West Ham can put any price tag on him they want. But I'm sure they'll be willing to listen to offers in and around 70 or 80 million. Now, Merson quite rightly has come out, and although he hasn't questioned Rice's ability, he has actually come out and said that Rice has proved himself as a consistent performer. He does, however, feel that the £100 million price tag is quite strong. So in regards to this, Merson, and I quote, has said, now his critics are saying, well, he's not worth 100 million. And the way that comes across, it's like he's not rated when he definitely is. I like Rice. He's a top player, but I think he's worth closer to 50 or 60 million. To me, Harry Kane is what I would consider a £100 million player. My fellow pundits have said that he doesn't score enough goals, but his game isn't really about that. Although I do think he would score more if he played in a more attacking team like Arsenal. I expect Rice to leave West Ham in the summer. I don't know who he will join, but it's time for him to move on. That opinion is very respectful from Merson, so I haven't really got a problem with that. But I just wanted to pick up on a couple of things there from that critique of the price tag on Rice. Now, £100 million is a lot of money. I totally agree. But in today's world, in the football industry, central defensive midfielders, central midfielders, the price tags are going up and up and up. We've seen it in the last transfer window with players in the similar position being bought for big money. Declan Rice is 24 years of age. Touch wood, he's predominantly always playing every minute of every game. And he's very much injury-free player. Never gets any injuries that I'm aware of. So for me, £100 million, although we may not get that as a true cash value, we may get 70 or 80 plus a player, for example, or 60 and 70 plus a player. There's no doubt in my mind that Rice is worth £100 million. He's got 10 years left in him at the very least at 24. He's played near on 200 games for West Ham. And whilst Merson is right in regards to the fact that, goal scoring isn't part of his game, I truly believe, like Merson has alluded to here, if he went to a better team, sorry to say it, West Ham fans, if he went to a team with far more progression in the way they play, I believe he would score more goals. You've got to imagine the fact that Rice is playing at West Ham United where, okay, the 2 seasons prior to this, he's carried us to some extent and he's almost been superhuman. But things are different now. The shackles have been put on the club, put on the team, and definitely put on Rice by Moyes and his negative tactics. If you saw Nick's live video yesterday evening and the information that we got, nothing in that video surprises you, really. It shocks you, but it doesn't surprise you. Moyes doesn't trust anybody at that club. He believes in himself wholly and truly. And he seems to believe that the tactics that he deploys on the team of we don't need possession, you're not good enough to take it to another team, is all he truly believes in. And can you imagine the frustrations, not only with the team, but I'm talking about Declan Rice here, who's took over the captaincy in the summer from retired Mark Noble, and he's now having to deal with a man who basically seems like he's losing the plot, who basically seems like he is devoid of instilling any confidence in that squad of players, of predominantly international world-class players. And a lot of West Ham fans are starting to go down the road of questioning Rice, whether or not he's a good enough captain, even what he's worth. But I put it to you that in the last 2 seasons, we've seen a very different Declan Rice. And it's not coincidental, that aligned with the fact that Moyes has just turned into an egomaniac, that Rice's performances have gone down and Rice's frustrations are showing more and more on and off the pitch. I actually feel sorry for Rice and the rest of the team, because what's happening now is fans are focusing on the wrong thing. Fans are starting to question a player who has constantly given his all for this club and, in my opinion, has never let us down. I know at times he's thrown his hands around this season and the frustrations have been there for all to see. But I don't think the frustrations are with the players per se. I think the frustrations are with the fact that the tactics we are given, the way we are told to play, is just destroying him and destroying them. There's no way that Declan Rice wants to end his career at West Ham with us getting relegated. He knows how that will look to certain elements of the fan base. He knows how that will look to his CV. And I know he's not a West Ham fan per se. He grew up as a Chelsea fan. But you cannot tell me that the man would not have taken this club to his heart to some extent. And it really annoys me. And I respect people's opinions. But when he plays for England like he did against Italy, Nick said to me, and I know he's probably joking, but it's probably what he's heard, did Declan Rice look a better player playing for England? Did he look happier? Did he look full of energy? Yeah, he did. But he's playing in a team that is full of confidence. He's playing for a manager that trusts him and the team implicitly, and he's giving them the tools to go out there, play full of energy and enjoy yourself. That's why there's a massive togetherness in that England squad and camp. A togetherness that shouldn't be at West Ham and probably isn't at the minute. Now, I'm not saying that the team aren't together as players individually, but there is a massive divide between Moyes and everybody else. And if you listen to Nick's video, it looks like it's pretty much Moyes is fighting a lone battle. And Declan Rice, as amongst the others, is getting pelters from pundits and fans. Now, what Merson said there isn't that bad, but he's being honest. Yeah, he hasn't slagged Rice off. He's actually paid him a compliment and said that Rice has proven himself to be a top player over the last few seasons. And he has. And he has. But let's not, West Ham fans, get on his back, which a lot of people are. Don't question his captaincy. He's doing his best, which he's doing whilst playing for a manager whose tactics, are shit, basically. Oh, sorry to swear. And we're aiming our disgust and we're aiming the pelters at the wrong person yet again. But I'm not criticising you as West Ham fans. I know you understand. I know you're livid with performances. But let's not look at the wrong people. Let's not look at the wrong person. Rice is getting pelters from Souness. And another one who's come out and pelted him over the last 48 hours is ex-Man United, Newcastle striker Andy Cole. Now, Andy Cole had a fantastic career. Let's not forget that. Andy Cole was a fantastic goal scorer. Don't see much of him as a pundit. And he has decided to get involved on the Declan Rice opinions and issues. And I'm going to quote this in an interview he did yesterday, I believe. This is Andy Cole. Declan Rice has been inconsistent. And also, what does he actually do? Is Arsenal the right move? They already have Jorginho, Thomas Partey, Granit Xhaka, Mohamed Elneny, who just signed a contract extension. Someone has to move on because Mikel Arteta won't be able to keep everyone happy. Is Chelsea the right move for Rice? I'm not sure either, because they have just bought Enzo Fernandez and other midfielders. But the £100 price tag West Ham are putting him, I would not pay that. If Liverpool are interested in Rice, then I'd be looking at that midfield if I was him, because they need a complete rebuild. It looks like Liverpool plan to start all over again in the midfield, and it's not likely, and it is not likely that they're a bad team next season. They will bounce back. Absolutely ridiculous comment from Andy Cole. Absolutely contradiction to what Merson said about Rice proving himself to be consistent and a top player. Andy Cole, you should be ashamed of yourself, mate. Declan Rice has been inconsistent. Really? And what does he actually do? Are you having an absolute laugh, mate? He is playing in a relegation fighting team this season. He's been fantastic the last 2 seasons, and you're coming in to an interview and you are questioning his ability, basically. You are questioning what Rice actually does. What a load of crap. Absolute load of bullshit. West Ham as a club are inconsistent this season. So inconsistency will at times go onto the pitch. Name one player at West Ham who hasn't been inconsistent this season. You just have to look at what these players do when they go and play for their international team. And Rice has been brilliant playing for England all the time. Even during a season when we are on the verge of relegation and playing some of the poorest football that I've seen as a West Ham fan. This is like every other player or every other British player that the media, they put up on a pedestal and they start knocking them down one by one. And let me tell you something now. Declan Rice will become a world-class, world-renowned player once he leaves West Ham. And it pains me to say that, all right? I'm a West Ham fan through and through, of course I am. But I'm a realist. We're basically a selling club. We will never hold on to players like Rice because we have no ambition. I've said it before many, many times in videos. And whilst the ownership model remains the same, we will never build on anything. But for pundits to come out like Andy Cole, like Graham Souness, and literally question Rice's abilities, then I know you must watch a lot of football. And as ex-professionals, you know, I respect your opinions to some extent, but I disagree. You obviously don't watch Rice week in, week out. You don't watch Declan Rice enough to make some of the comments that you've made about his inconsistency. Paul Merson, hats off. Although you don't agree with the price tag, you do admit that Rice has been consistent and has, in fact, proven himself as a world-class player. Jude Bellingham, 19. Yes, he's probably worth in excess of 150 million. But in my opinion, Rice is worth 100 million. And we won't see that in its entirety until he leaves West Ham, as much as it pains me to say. Okay, I'm sorry about my ramble. I have waffled on a little bit, but I just feel that the negativity being thrown towards Rice from all quarters is really beginning to frustrate me. And when I see it from other West Ham fans, it really pisses me off. We need to look at the situation as a whole rather than slag off Rice individually. He does play better for England. but he's playing with a better team. He's playing with better players. He's playing in a squad that is full of confidence at the minute, and it's a happy camp. I'm sure he's trying to raise the troops at West Ham, but when you're constantly being pushed back down and your ability as a team is being questioned by your own manager, who doesn't want us to have the ball because we can't take the games to other teams. We're not good enough for that. Can you imagine how hard it is? We've seen it before with Mark Noble getting pelters. He's still getting pelters now for something he hasn't done. But there's two main problems at West Ham, and they are affecting the players and the club. David Sullivan and his puppet, David Moyes. The clear divide between Moyes and the rest of the not only playing staff, but non-playing staff seems to be growing daily. And Moyes ain't going nowhere till the end of the season. And I pray that we stay up. Not only for the fact that I don't want West Ham to get relegated, but I would absolutely hate for West Ham to get relegated whilst Declan Rice is the captain of the club, because he would be devastated, and God only knows the abuse that he would get from some West Ham fans. Okay, I'm going to wrap up. I've gone on longer than I wanted. Thanks for watching. If you like the show, then please hit the like button. If not, then don't. But please subscribe. Claret and Booze. We're going to be on later this week with our Boozecast. Nick will post, post information about that and ask for your questions. But thanks for watching. I've been Virgil. I'm off down the gym. See you later.